We have all got that cupboard of doom. Maybe it's your understairs cupboard like my sister's one here. Maybe it's your linen closet, which it totally is for me in my house. Maybe it's a toy cupboard, but we've all got it. So I am at my sister's house today, and this was her number one area that she wanted to tackle. Now, there are lots of other areas in her house that ideally we'd like to spend some time on, but this is the main priority. So for her, this is kind of like a pantry cupboard, and then, a bit of like a storage cupboard and a chuck it all in cupboard. So she's got a fairly compact house like I have, 3-bedroom house. She has a pretty small kitchen, so she doesn't have loads of space in there for storing food and kitchen items that she's not using as regularly. So lots of those find their way into this cupboard. We've got a lot of cereals, drinks, that we have all of the cat supplies, cat food, and then a whole heap of plastic bags, like more plastic bags than I have ever seen before. So we will cover that a little bit later on in this video. So because we're visiting as a family, you'll see a lot of kids in this video. I have 3 kids, ages 6, 4, and 2. My sister has 2 boys who are a bit older than mine. Her eldest is 14, but they all played together so nicely on this day. And we're visiting for 4 nights. So this is our first full day visiting, and we're taking it pretty chill and spending the day, or most of the day, at my sister's house. So we've been out in the morning, taking the kids to the park in this beautiful little village nearby, which was just 10 minutes from where we're staying in an Airbnb. And I went for a 5K run. I'm training for a marathon. Oh my goodness, can I run a marathon? I don't know. But I'm training for a marathon. I just went for a 5K because I didn't want to eat into too much of a time with family today. And I ran along a canal path in beautiful little village called Saddleworth. If you are from the UK and you're old enough to remember it, it's this proper last of the summer wine country, and it was so nice. I want to say this is the nicest run I've done in months. It was so beautiful, so scenic, and just as I was thinking that I needed to finish the halfway point and start turning back, so I was halfway through my 5K, I stumbled upon a cake shop selling brownies that looked amazing. And I mean, if that is not the universe telling me to buy brownies, I don't know what it is. So obviously I bought brownies and I ran back with them. And we had those after lunch today, which was so nice. So spending the day with my family is my number 1 favorite thing to do. And my number 2 favorite thing to do is cleaning and decluttering for other people. The bigger the problem, the better for me. I absolutely love a big project. And lately in my own house, I've had such a productive couple of months. December and January was so good for me. And I feel I have really broken the back of the stuff in my house. So we were far from perfect, but it's looking so much better, feeling so much better in my own house. I was so overjoyed to get stuck into a really good project. And actually, as I was doing the first edit of this video, my husband said to me that my sister had I was, in the cupboard doing this, and my sister had come in to him and said, "I'm so pleased she likes tidying up so much." And it's so true. I really do. I really love getting stuck into a big project. I'm just gutted that I live 4.5 hours drive away from my sister. My sister and I are really close. We've always been really close. We're really close in age. There is 15, 16 months between us in age. And we grew up just being thick as thieves, shared a room together until I was 13, and have always been really good friends. That doesn't mean we get on all the time. And in fact, we certainly had our arguments and our disagreements when we were kids, particularly when we were teenagers. But we always knew we would have each other's backs, and we always have. I actually don't think we're similar at all. I think we're very different, but that makes our relationship work so much better. But we are just so good together. We've always been a really good team. And I wish that my sister lived closer to me. I wish my mum lived closer to me. I wish my sister lived closer to me. But there we are. We enjoy the time that we have together all the more for the separation, I guess. So I go visit my sister once or twice a year. because it's a bit of a trek, like, and we go as a family, so we have to make it like a little holiday, like we have now. So it's half term for us in the UK. So my boys are off school for the next week. They had an inset day at school on the Friday as well. So we travelled up on the Friday, got there Friday evening, and this is a Saturday. So we have lots of fun things planned. Tomorrow we have a trip to a really awesome museum with the kids. We'll love that. We've been before and they love that. And then we're going to a farm park on the Monday. So lots of stuff planned. So this is the perfect time in between our, family meal times and chatting and catching up with each other. I started to tackle this cupboard. So my sister was on hand nearby to help me in terms of what we could get rid of. So I think it's really important if you're clearing a space for somebody else that they're able to talk you through, even if it's just roughly what kind of things they want to keep, what kind of things they want to get rid of. And my sister was able to make a lot of great decisions here. If you see my videos that I did at my dad's house in the last month, then you'll know how important it is to have somebody nearby who's able to give you a bit of direction. We cleared so much stuff in my dad's house, and we were not finished there, but we cleared so much stuff. And I feel like we made a massive effort here. You can see my brother-in-law in this shot now, and I'm asking him a question about some of the cat stuff, medication, is this stuff we're using, is this stuff we're not using. There was kind of half-used medication in here, and he was able to help me out because I have no idea when it comes to the cat medication. I've had a cat in the past, but cat ailments are different from cat to cat, I guess, and I was not familiar with this stuff, did not know what we needed to keep. So they were on hand, but then they didn't need to be with me all the time. So they're kind of in and out. You see the kids coming in and out, and I can ask some questions. We can make some decisions. And really, for the first part of this process, what I want to do is just clear stuff. I want to make decisions about what stays and what goes. I am not organising anything at this point, but I am starting to formulate a bit of a plan in my head as to kind of roughly, how much stuff I have in each category and what my categories are. So I can see pretty clearly on, early on, there's cereals and breakfast stuff, there's cat stuff, there's some baking supplies, there's plastic bags, there's some art supplies. So, and we have this storage unit up here on the left. And ideally, I want to get a bit of space in here back so we can walk around in this area and actually access everything. Because, my sister is very busy. My sister works full time. She has a very demanding job. She works with people who are, if they're kind of in hospital, and then they can't be released back home and they need temporary living accommodation and stuff like that. And so she helps people kind of get back on their feet. And she has the boys, obviously, they are in school, one in primary school, one in high school, and, obviously ferrying them around. They have football, they have karate, they compete a lot, they are very busy boys. So she's on the weekend, taking them here, there and everywhere. And on this particular day, she's been taking them to football and everything else before we arrived. So she's already been super busy on her weekend. And then she helps out at her local food bank. So she is a very busy woman. And my sister's also about to have some surgery on her neck, and then some separate surgery when she's recovered from that on her wrist. And the pain that she's suffering in those areas is definitely impacting her ability to kind of get on top of some of these jobs. She's, I think when you're a mum, even when you're in pain, even when you're struggling with things, you just have to get on with things, which she absolutely is, right? So, she's still getting on with things. On this particular day, she made us lunch and she made us this massive dinner, homemade curry, and my nephew also he helped it with making these flatbreads, and it was really yummy. So she's busy looking after us, making us food, and yeah, so I wanted to do something for her, and I'm so happy that I got to do this. And honestly, it would be disingenuous of me to be I'm just kind of helping out my sister, because I really do love doing this sort of thing. It makes me happy. I love seeing a space come together. So at this point, we're starting to get some of our categories back. Looking at the cereals, what can we kind of whittle down, and breaking down this box. Never be afraid to actually just make a box fit your space as well. So I'm taking off some of the cardboard from this box because I want to keep the box. The box in itself is a good container for these the sachets of porridge. So I'm going to keep the box, but the box is too tall. So I'm just going to take a layer of cardboard off the box to make it fit. So when I'm going through these boxes and items here, and I'm starting to think about my categories and how I'm going to separate them out, I also want to think about like what we are accessing most regularly, and I like ran that through my sister as well. So she said, you know, we're kind of accessing the snacks and the drinks and the cereals more regularly, so we want those at the top. But then also like the cat food is something which they're, you know, accessing every single day. They have 4 cats. My sister is a definite cat lady. She did have 5 cats. Unfortunately, one of them went missing, and we haven't heard anything about it since. So she's a cat lady, she loves her cats, and we want to have all the cat supplies handy. And then we have things that we don't need to have like as readily available, and we could have those maybe lower down. So that I'm just kind of like getting that all set in my head. And what I'm doing is I'm going through things, deciding what we're keeping, what's going, getting some things sorted out. I'm just heaping up everything that we don't need to one side. But then I have got like stuff that is for the bin, stuff that's for recycling, and then stuff which I think that we would be able to gift on, whether that's charity shop, whether that's giving away locally, to one side. So again, we have categories here. Now, you could have bin bags and you could be sorting those out as we go, but I have decided I'm just going to heap everything up, and then I'm going to sort them out into like bin bags, recycling, after I have done the actual decluttering and reorganization of this cupboard. And that is just what works for me. That's what I do at home mostly as well, like just sort it all out and then sort out putting in the bin. And I think sometimes when you declutter an area like this and you have a lot of stuff to get rid of, that in itself can be quite daunting. What I have found in my last few months of decluttering is it never takes me as long to sort out the rubbish after I finish decluttering an area as I think. Like you know, I think this took me about 10 minutes to sort out. After I'd sorted all the decluttering, I actually sat down, like breaking up boxes, all the rest of it. It didn't take me that long. This is a big tub of like faux snowballs that my sister had bought for, if you do like Elf on the Shelf, she had bought that for one of the Elf on the Shelf things at Christmas, and she was like, we don't need those, like I don't think we'll use those again. Like it was really good fun, really enjoyed it and got a lot of fun out of it on the day, but we don't need those. So I put those in there to like get rid of pile. And you'll see those at the end of the video as well, in the stuff that we decluttered from that cupboard. But they are one thing that we decided to keep. I say we, basically, once we'd filmed everything for this video, my 4-year-old came along, saw the snowballs and was like, oh my God, snowballs. Because we've had those in the past in my house as well, around Christmas time. And he saw them, saw the big crate of snowballs and was like, oh my God, can I have these, mummy? So we were like, yeah, absolutely, like go for it. And do you know what? They played with them for hours. Absolute hours. They were taking it in turns to put all the snowballs back in the plastic tub and then tip them out onto each other's heads. Then they had the bucket set up on one side of a room, and then they were throwing the snowballs into the bucket. And then they would just launch a full-on like snowball assault. So at one point I went up the stairs to check on the kids, and I just got pelted by snowballs. Like it was a full-on snowball fight, and it was so much fun. So I am so pleased that they got fun out of that. Maybe my sister will decide after we have gone from our visit to get rid of them properly, or maybe she'll keep them, I don't know. But that's one of those things when you're decluttering an area and you stumble upon something, and I found this quite a lot in my house, where I've decided, you know, that we don't need something or we're not using something, but just having it in sight for kids means they're more likely to think, you know what, I want to use this, I want to play with this. And they remember that it actually exists, and that is so what happened with these snowballs. So sometimes you just have to go through things, remind yourself and your kids of what is available so that they can decide if they want to use them or not, and actually see, like, are they enjoying it? Are they going to get some, you know, use out of it? And maybe this was just the last hurrah for the snowballs. I don't know, but they really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed watching them play with them. Now, are you like my sister? Do you have a lot of reusable shopping bags, because oh my goodness me, I have not seen this many reusable shopping bags in someone's house for a very long time. These were bags in a bag, and I put it on the side here because I live a couple of hours drive from my mum, so I get to see her a bit more regularly. My sister lives like 4.5, 5 hours drive from my mum. She doesn't see her as so much. So I volunteered to take this bag back to my mum's because it belongs to her apparently. And now I am just going through basically sorting out like what are the bags they like best. They like the bags which are sturdier, which are thicker. And then these kind of like tempy bags I've got here, they were like, we don't use those, but we keep on buying them because we keep forgetting our shopping bags. Now, I am one who is guilty of this too. Like when you don't expect to go to the shops and then therefore you don't have any shopping bags. Now, what we have is we always have our shopping bags in the boot of our car. So we talked about this, and my sister and brother-in-law, they both have their own cars, and they were like, do you know what would be a really good idea to just have like 5 bags each in a bag, like in the boot of our car, like all the time. So we each have that. And then we have the other bags that we like in the house that we can pick up when we're going to go do like a really big shop. And if we decide to like stop in at the shops for any reason, or we're like not prepared for the visit, we know we'll always have bags in the boot of our car, and then hopefully we will have less occasions where we have to buy some. So I thought this was a really good idea. So that is what we did. So we sorted out a main kind of bag of shopping bags, which is what I'm filling up here. Then we have everything else to go to recycling, and then we have a bag for my sister's car, a bag for my brother-in-law's car, and then we have another bag which we're sorting out to go to the food bank, because my sister said she always takes bags to the food bank. They will always use them. So nothing goes to waste here, which I love. And in between all of this happening, we have children coming and going, as you can see, asking questions, having a chat, picking up things, and this is family life. And actually it just goes to show, I think there is often when you have kids, it's not a great time to tackle a project. Get stuck into decluttering. Like there's always someone that needs you, there's always something that needs to happen, but sometimes you just have to go for it because if you're like me, your kids are around a lot and you don't get that much time to actually get things done. But we were 4 adults in the house at this point with 5 kids, and the kids are playing really nicely. You can see my one of my nephews here, and he's got my 2-year-old by the hand, and so they were making sure she's going up and down the stairs, that there was always somebody walking with her and keeping her safe, which was so cute because like as a kid, obviously that's not their responsibility to do that, but it was lovely that they were all like realizing that there was something was happening. We were having a tidy up, and they were all helping to make sure that could happen. So I really appreciated that. And sometimes I think kids surprise you with how helpful that they can be if you give them that responsibility. So we're getting to the point in the project now where things are really coming together. I can see my categories working well. I'm starting to assess like what we have left, putting some gift bags to the side here, because they are used kind of like the least amount, and now just having a bit of a sweep up. So really didn't do much cleaning in this project at all. If we'd had a bit more time to spend, or been willing to spend more time, if we'd wanted to, we could have spent more time, but really we wanted to spend the time together as a family. And I think I spent about an hour in total on this project, which is not too bad at all. Look at how much stuff we got rid of. Oh my goodness. Like, I think this shocked everyone. Their stuff is piled up here. And what I didn't show you is, as I had taken my camera off, taken it off the tripod, and I was about to film this stuff, I was like, oh, hang on a minute, there's coats and everything on the back on this door. And I said to my sister and brother-in-law, like, have you been through these coats recently? Are these all things that you're wearing? And they laughed, that kind of laugh that says, we haven't looked at the pile of coats for ages. So we managed to very quickly declutter 4 coats, one of which was broken, another didn't fit, kids' coats that didn't fit. And actually the top coat I took with me for my kids. My boys all fit into that. And the rest can go to recycling and be used by somebody else. But everything else, bar the stow balls, which did go back into use, we cleared from the house within 10 minutes of this video being filmed. Here is a reminder of what it was looking like before. So this is our before. All the coats that were heaped up on the door, all of the food and the bags, so many bags. So many bags that we have in this cupboard. No space to walk around. We couldn't get to the back of it at all. And then here is what it was looking like after an hour in total spent. We have reduced the amount of coats on the back of that door. Look at the floor space. You can walk right to the back of the cupboard now. At the top here, we have got some games that they bought at Christmas they haven't used yet. I wanted to leave them there so that they were within sight, reminding them to use them, get to grips with those games. I didn't want to pack them away. I wanted them out where they were in view. On the top here, we've got the cat kibble, we have got the cereals. So we've got our cereal category. And then on this top layer of the shelves, we've got fizzy drinks. And then we have all of our snacks, our crisps and our sweet treats. And we've got some more fizzy drinks here and space, importantly, to put more when my sister goes shopping. Cake supplies here, just cake supplies, nothing else in that cubby hole. Then we have art stuff for my nephew. He's got his crepe paper. We've got a notepad. We've got all his pens. Then we have all the cat stuff. So cat food, cat medication, cat treats, all in that tote. Bin bags here, water bottles, and then our carrier bags. Everything organised, lovely. We've got space to move around. And I am so pleased with this project. I cannot wait to get stuck into my sister's kitchen, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.